Hello friends, are those changes not coming in your life which you really want? You think that you will fulfill a big dream and change your life. But every time something happens that you remain where you were. You try, watch motivational videos, promise yourself that this time I will definitely change. But in a few days, everything becomes the same again. Have you ever wondered why this happens? Actually, about 55% of our life is made up of our habits. We keep repeating what we do every day, and these habits are so small that we do not even realize whether they are taking us forward or pulling us back. In the book The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg has told that if we understand our habits and learn to change them in the right way, then we can completely transform our life. Imagine if you make a habit of getting up early in the morning and start saving a little every day. If you develop the habit of doing something or leave procrastination and develop the habit of working on your goals, then how much your life can change. But the question is how to get rid of our bad habits and make good habits a part of our life. To know this, watch this video till the end because we are going to explain the entire summary of this powerful book to you in simple and easy language so that you can immediately apply it in your life. So are you ready to change your bad habits into good habits? If yes, then watch this video completely because it can change your life. Chapter 1 Loop of Habits. Have you ever wondered why the things that happen repeatedly in your life happen? Why do we check our phones as soon as we wake up in the morning? Why do we make tea or coffee without thinking? And why do some habits become so strong that it seems impossible to change them? One morning a man named Mark was on his way to his office. Like every day, he would take the same route, stop at the same coffee shop, order the same coffee, and then move towards his office. All this was so normal for him that he never paid any attention to it. But one day, when he put his hand in his pocket to get coffee, he realized that he had left his wallet at home. He suddenly stopped and was surprised. Did he really want to drink coffee, or was it just a habit? This is the power of habits. They control our lives without our realizing it. Charles Duhigg explains in his book The Power of Habit that every habit follows a cycle, a clue, a routine, and a reward. This is called a habit loop. Whenever a clue triggers us, we unconsciously start following a certain routine, and in the end, we get a reward which forces our brain to maintain this habit. In Mark's case, the smell of the coffee shop and the smell of the coffee shop triggered our habit. The daily routine was the clue for him. Stopping there to buy coffee was his routine, and the satisfaction and freshness he felt when he took the first sip of that coffee was his reward. There is a part in our brain called basal ganglia, which controls these habits. When a task is done repeatedly, our brain puts it in automatic mode, which gives us the convenience of not having to think much. But sometimes it can also be harmful. One day Mark decided to do an experiment. The next morning when he left for office, he decided that he would definitely pass by the coffee shop, but would not go inside. When he reached there, the smell of coffee tried to tempt him, but he stopped himself. In the beginning, he felt strange as if something was left incomplete. But gradually after a few days, he stopped feeling the need for this habit. This shows that habits can be changed, but for this, we have to change them. It is important to understand the loop. When we want to break a habit, we have to change the routine, not the clue, and reward. Mark did the same. He recognized the clue of his habit, but changed the routine. Now think about the habits in your life that are stuck in this loop. Do you eat snacks without being hungry? Do you waste hours scrolling your mobile or shopping unnecessarily? All this is a part of the loop of habits. But the good thing is that by understanding this loop, it can be controlled. Next time when you try to change a habit, ask yourself these questions. What is the clue of this habit? What is its routine? And what reward am I looking for? If you recognize this loop, it will become easier for you to change any habit. Chapter to the Power of Willpower. Have you ever wondered why some people stick to their goal even in difficult situations while others give up midway? We give up. What is the reason that one person can get up early in the morning and exercise while another keeps snoozing the alarm again and again? The answer is willpower. Anita, who studied in Harvard University, was a very promising student. She always topped her class, but she had a problem. She was not able to follow anything for long. Whenever she set a new goal, she was full of enthusiasm for the first few days, but slowly her motivation started to fade. She tried many times to get up early in the morning, eat healthy, and reduce social media. But every time within a few days, she returned to her old habits. One day, her professor told her that willpower is not an inborn talent, but like a muscle. If it is trained daily, it becomes strong, and if it is trained daily, it becomes strong. If it is ignored, it becomes weak. Anita did not understand how to strengthen willpower. Then her professor asked her to do a small experiment. He said, "Control just one small thing every day. Don't try to change a big habit. Just choose one easy thing and complete it at all costs." Anita decided that she will make her bed properly every day. It was a very small task, but she followed it with full honesty. On the first day, she found it boring, but gradually her mind started taking it as an important task. After a few weeks, she realized that she was getting better control over other things as well. She was able to focus more on studies, was able to stop herself from eating junk food, and even her addiction to social media started decreasing. Charles Duhigg explains in his book The Power of Habit that willpower is such a keystone habit that it affects the rest of our habits as well. If you strengthen your willpower by doing a small task, it can change your entire life. A famous experiment was conducted in Stanford University, which is known as marshmallow test. In this, children were made to sit in a room and a marshmallow was placed in front of them. They were given two options. Either they can eat that marshmallow immediately, or they can get to marshmallows after waiting for 15 minutes. Some children ate the marshmallow immediately, while some tried to stop themselves. The children who could wait for 15 minutes became more successful as they grew up. This experiment proved that willpower is the power that makes a person understand the difference between success and failure. There is a part in our brain called prefrontal cortex which controls our willpower. Whenever we postpone something or start doing what we want, this part becomes weak. But when we discipline ourselves, this part becomes stronger. If you want to strengthen your willpower, then you must do it. If you are a big fan of your willpower, then you have to achieve small wins. Whenever you resist something like getting up early in the morning to exercise, avoiding eating sweets, or stopping yourself from checking your phone without any reason, then your willpower muscle becomes stronger. Now think, can you train your willpower like a muscle? Can you improve one small habit in your life so that your other habits also improve? If yes, then today itself choose an easy task and do it wholeheartedly, because willpower is the magical power that can change your life. Chapter 3: Well-Organized Habits. Have you ever noticed how organized the life of some people is? They are always on time, achieve their goals, and appear stress-free. It seems as if their life is going according to a plan. But all this does not happen by magic. There's a deep reason behind it. Well-organized habits, deliberation habits. Anuj, he used to work in a multinational company. He had a good job, but everything in his life was haphazard and unorganized. He would wake up in the morning and start scrolling his mobile. He would skip breakfast, reach office late, and remain stressed the whole day. He used to think that he was very busy, but at the end of the day, he would feel that he had not done any major work. This continued for months until one day his team leader called him and said, "Anuj, you are hardworking, but your habits are not letting you move forward. You have to learn to plan your day." Initially, he did not understand what it meant, but when he paid attention to it, he realized that he was doing his work throughout the day without any structure. He was just getting involved in everything without separating important and unimportant tasks. This was the reason why he always felt tired, but his productivity was decreasing instead of increasing. After that day, he took a decision. He would plan his entire day. He wanted to change his day into a systematic plan. First of all, he decided to improve his morning habits. Now, as soon as he wakes up, he would first exercise, then meditate for a few minutes and plan his day. He decided that every night before going to sleep, he would write down the 3 most important tasks of the next day, so that as soon as he wakes up in the morning, he knows what he has to do. Slowly, his life started changing. Now he was more focused than before. His stress had reduced and he started being happier. His productivity increased so much that within a few months, he got a promotion. All this happened because he had made his habits systematic. Charles Duhigg explains in his book, The Power of Habit, that disorderly habits bring chaos in our life, whereas systematic habits lead us to success. When we plan our day in advance, we are able to work smarter and a clarity comes within us. If you also want to bring change in your life, then you have to make your habits systematic. You have to decide which tasks are most important and which are just wasting time. Do you waste time on social media without any purpose in the morning? Do you remain busy in multitasking throughout the day but cannot get any concrete result? If yes, then it is time to plan your habits. The biggest advantage of planned habits is that they save our energy and time. When you set your day in advance, you do not have to think all the time what to do next. Your habits automatically take you in the right direction like a nudge. You can also take a small step. Decide from today that you will plan your next day every night. Make a list of your most important tasks and give them priority. Make your morning habits in such a way that they give you energy and motivation throughout the day. When you plan your habits, your whole life will change, more balanced, more successful, and happier. Chapter 4: Keystone Habits. Have you ever wondered how some people bring such big changes in their lives? Some suddenly become healthy, some become rich, while some start touching heights in their career. It seems as if their whole life has been transformed. But if you look carefully, you will find that one thing is common at the root of all these changes: keystone habits. One day, a young man named Rahul joins a gym because he is fed up with his obesity. For the first few weeks, he finds it very difficult to get up early in the morning, do workouts, and control his diet. All this was completely different from his old habits, but he promised himself that no matter what happens, he will exercise only for 30 minutes every day. Gradually, he felt a strange change. Not only did his body become fit, but his entire lifestyle started changing. Now he started eating healthy food, started sleeping early at night, started waking up early in the morning, and even his work performance started improving. He started feeling more focus and energy in his work. The most interesting thing here was that he had changed only one habit in his life: exercising daily. But this one habit affected all the other things. This is the power of keystone habits. Charles Duhigg explains in his book, The Power of Habit, that keystone habits work like a domino effect. When you adopt a good habit, it gives birth to other good habits as well. It is just like when the flow of a river is fixed, whatever comes in its way will flow in that direction. A study found that people who exercise regularly are not only healthy, but also improve their finances, relationships, and mental health. They become less expensive, more disciplined, and are able to deal with stress better. Rahul's story does not end here. After a few months, his physical fitness had improved, but he also felt a tremendous increase in his self-confidence. Now he started talking to people openly, started looking for new opportunities, and started touching new heights in his career. You too think about which such a habit is there in your life. Is it one habit that if you change, everything else will change too? Could it be getting up early? Could it be eating healthy? Could it be reading a book every day? When you identify your keystone habit and start working on it, your whole life gradually begins to change. Have the courage to adopt it once and see how it gives a new direction to your life. Chapter 5: Habits of Successful Companies. Have you ever wondered why some companies achieve consistent success while others struggle? How some brands become such that people consider them a part of their lives? It is not just about products or services, but there is a deeper reason behind it: their habits. In 1977, Albertsons, an American retail company, was constantly trying new strategies to grow its business, but none of them were giving it the success it wanted. Management had repeatedly called for marketing and marketing strategies. The campaigns were changed and new schemes were launched, but customers kept switching to other brands. Then the CEO of the company adopted a different approach. He focused on changing the habits of the company. He first looked at the working style of his employees. He noticed that the staff did not pay much attention to customer service, and the customer experience in the stores was not great. He decided to develop a new habit: greeting every customer warmly and giving priority to their needs. The company trained its employees to make them a part of this new habit. Gradually, customers started getting a new experience, and they started coming back on their own. In a few years, Albertsons became one of the most successful retail chains in America. Charles Duhigg explains in his book The Power of Habit that behind every successful company, there are some habits that become a part of their entire system. These habits change not only the behavior of the employees, but also the culture of the entire company. In the 1980s, as the aluminum company of America, Alcoa, was continuously incurring losses. When the new CEO Paul O'Neill took over the reins of the company, everyone thought that he would bring a new strategy to increase profits. But he did something else. He focused on the safety practices of the company. He decided that the first priority would be the safety of the employees. He made a rule that any employee would have to immediately report any injury, and the entire company would have to work together to solve that problem. Initially, investors found this strange. They were thinking we used to think that the company should focus on profit and not on safety rules. But within a few years, the productivity of the company increased in a strange way. The employees became more evolved, and their way of working started improving. As a result, in a few years, Alva became one of the most successful aluminium companies in the world. Both these examples teach us that big successes are achieved when the company turns its habits in the right direction. When a company focuses on improving the habits of its employees, its entire work culture starts changing. If you are running a business yourself or are running a company in the future, if you want to build a company, first of all pay attention to the habits of your company. Is your team working on time? Is customer service being given priority? Does everyone understand the vision of the company? When you find answers to these questions and develop the right habits, your company can also become like those successful brands that people not only like, but also trust. Chapter 4: Why can we change our habits? Have you ever wondered how some people bring big changes in their lives, while others fail even after trying again and again? Why is it that while a person succeeds in quitting alcohol or cigarettes, someone remains trapped in the web of his bad habits? Can our habits really be changed, or are we forced to remain their slaves? In the morning, Neeraj was turning the pages of his old diary. He remembered that 5 years ago, he had made a promise to himself that he would change his habits every day. He will get up early in the morning, exercise, and improve his health. But the reality was that 5 years had passed, and he still used to stay up late at night, eat unhealthy food, and wake up late in the morning. He had tried to change his habits many times, but every time after a few weeks, he used to return to his old life. He started feeling that he can never change, but one day, when he met a friend of his thinking changed completely. His friend said to him, "Neeraj, you are trying to change your habits again and again, but the real problem is that you are not believing that you can change. Change does not come from outside, but from inside." Charles Duhigg explains in his book The Power of Habit that habits get set in our mind like a pattern. When we do something repeatedly, it gets stored in the basal ganglia of our brain. So when we try to change a habit, our mind starts stopping us. This is the same feeling when a person tries to change a habit. He tries to quit smoking, but after a few days, he starts craving for it again. But the good news is that our habits can be changed, and the biggest reason for this is our belief. Unless we believe in ourselves that we can change, no change will be permanent. Neeraj thought deeply about this for the first time. He understood that as long as he considers himself a late riser, he will never be able to make a habit of waking up early in the morning. He will have to shift his identity, i.e., he will have to consider himself a new person who wakes up early in the morning, exercises, and gives priority to his health. After a few days, he adopted a new method. He did not just focus on waking up early, but changed his entire mindset. He told himself that I am a healthy and disciplined person. I take care of my body. I wake up early in the morning because this is my identity. Gradually, his thinking started changing. Now it was not just a habit, it was his identity. And when a few weeks passed, he realized that he had really changed. The biggest proof of this is that many people in the world have changed even their most difficult habits. People who have quit addiction, people who earn crores, self-made men, world-class athletes, all of them were once slaves of their old habits. But they started thinking of themselves as new people, and this is the real key to change. If you also want to change any of your habits, then the first step is to start thinking of yourself as a new person. Don't say that I am trying to quit smoking, rather say that I am not a smoker. Don't say that I am trying to work out, rather say that I am a fit and healthy person. When you change the way you think about yourself, your habits start changing automatically. Remember, our habits do not control us, but we can control our habits, and when we have full faith in this, only then does real change come. So now you know how much power habits have in our life. Our small habits can take us to the heights of success or keep us stuck where we have been standing for years. But the good thing is that we can change any of our habits if we understand it correctly and take action on it. The book The Power of Habit teaches us that every habit has a loop, and if we change our routine by identifying our cue and reward, then we can use our habits to our advantage. But remember, just understanding will not do anything. Real change will come only when you apply it in your life. Do not think that everything will change in a day. Consistency is the real magic. If you bring small changes every day, then in a few months, you will see a completely new and better version of yourself. Now the time has come that you should make a new version of yourself. Ask a question: will you control your habits or let them control your life? If you really want to make your future better, then start a new good habit today. A small victory will lead you to great success. If you like this video and you have learned something new from it, then do like it and tell in the comment what is your biggest bad habit that you want to change. And if you want to see such powerful and life-changing book series, then subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video. Remember, one small habit can change your whole life. See you in the next video. Till then, keep growing, learning. Thank you.